Hey guys, welcome back to another update of my Canadian dividend investing portfolio series. In these videos, I'm going over my activities as a Canadian dividend investor. I'm tracking everything since September 2020 in this custom Google Sheet that I made. There is a link in the description below where you can get it. And I'm using Wealthsimple Trade to make my trades because when I use Wealthsimple Trade, I don't pay any trading fees and commissions, so that's really nice. Yeah, just kind of walking through how it's been going, what I'm doing today, and I'm going to run through I'm actually going to buy some stocks today in this video, and you can kind of follow along and see what I'm up to. So if you're into that, hit the like button and subscribe, and come on for the ride. So I'm sitting at about $81,000 and $30. $81,030. There's about $500 cash in my account right now. $300 of that is from dividends, and about $200 of it is from a recent deposit that I made. So when I'm buying more stocks, it's always a mixture of the dividends that I'm reinvesting and the new money that I'm adding into the account. Since I started, I've received $6,700 in dividends. Basically, if you added up all these numbers from each month the whole way along, that's where that number comes from, and you can kind of see the monthly breakdown of what's going on. Generally, it's increasing because I'm reinvesting and adding more money. Currently, the impact of me adding more money is the bigger factor, usually, to this growth, but as time goes on, probably the reinvesting of dividends will overtake the amount that I'm depositing, because actually this is my tax-free savings account and my limit for now is $85,000. And I'm at about $82,000, so there's not much more money that I can contribute to it before I have to wait for the next year. But anyways, overall my account is actually down a little bit. We're down $253. It kind of goes up and down all the time. I obviously prefer to see this in the green always, but it is what it is. So it's less than 1% down, and basically we're looking at, though, I have a 5% yield. It's a weighted average of all the stocks in my account. So pretty much within the next 12 months, I'm looking to receive around $4,000 in dividends, plus the stock price of each individual stock that I hold will fluctuate as we go. So this cash flow is available to me if I want it without actually selling any stocks. But basically what I'm doing is I'm just reinvesting this amount, around $300 a month, back into my portfolio to increase the amount of dividend paying stocks so that this number just keeps growing. So let's take a look at my portfolio at the different companies that I hold. Right now I have it sorted to have the biggest position at the top and the smaller positions at the bottom. You can see the tickers here, or also the name of the companies. Some of the names of the real estate companies are not showing up right now because, Google Finance is just being a little bit cranky with REITs for some reason. However, as we come down, we can see a lot of familiar tickers in here, or basically a lot of companies that are listed on the Toronto Stock Exchange. If you're not familiar with them, you can also get an idea of what industry they're in over here on the left. So some are up, some are down. It's indicated by green or red, basically. And this factors in the amount of the price that I paid for them when I bought them and the current price today. We also have information here about the dividends, the yields, and how much I expect to receive from each company or per position per year. So that's going forward, and then how much I actually have received since holding the company. So some interesting numbers in here. If I have sold off a company at some point, I may have taken a realized gain or loss, whereas the rest of this is unrealized. So there have been a few instances where I've sold a little bit, and then that will also factor into kind of what I call the all-in performance, where I factor in my unrealized gain, the dividends I've received, plus any realized gains compared to basically the amount that I've put in at the moment. So that's just kind of nice for me to track. And if you're using the spreadsheet as well, you'll be able to see all this information too, which might be a little bit more than you're used to if you're just using a platform like Wealthsimple Trade or Questrade, which I find quite confusing. I actually have a Questrade account as well with a few stocks in there, and I just don't quite like the interface. I'm more of a fan of Wealthsimple. So anyhow, when I was looking at what I should buy today, certainly TELUS is on my radar. I'm down 12% of my position. Their yield has gone up quite high because their stock price has dropped. So that is definitely something I'm looking to pick up. Also, Northland Power is another utility company, a renewable energy company that I've been looking to pick up. They pay monthly The dividend yield is a bit smaller, but they're down quite far from their all-time high, and I'll show you that in a second in the sparkline tab. And then I think I might also drop in a couple shares to Northwest Company. This is just one of my smallest positions, which is just barely in the red, so I'm going to try to squeak in there before they might climb back up again. So in this spreadsheet, there's a bunch of tabs down here at the bottom, which we'll get into in a second. The sparkline tab is one of those tabs. You can just get a quick preview of what's going on here. It's kind of just the general shape of the stock price that I have, and some information up here as well relating to my position and also just to the company in general. This quick links here to Yahoo Finance if you want to jump straight to it. And actually, if you change the ticker, so if we jump over to like Northland Power or something, for example, we're going to see here also the price has declined relative to its high and low, and also even like the link here will update, so you can just jump straight there if you want to take a look at their earnings or whatever. Another tab in here that I like is the extra sparklines, where I just have all of the sparklines of every company in my portfolio displayed at the same time, and they're actually organized in the same order as whatever the order is that I have here in the portfolio tab. So right now it's biggest holdings first, so it'll be first Waste Connections followed by REI and so on. And when we take a look over here in the extra sparklines tab, we can see that Waste Connections, REI, and so on. Like I said, the REITs are having some issues with Google Finance, and that's ultimately the source for this information. So it's just not coming through for REITs, but the rest of them are working properly. And you can kind of just scroll through here and take a quick eyeball at what's going on, if there's any general trends in the stock market, or we could organize this by sector. For example, in the portfolio tab, we could sort by sector. Anyone, it doesn't matter. So we'll put like all the utility companies together, all the real estate, all the industrials, financials, whatever. And then in the sparkline, extra sparklines tab, we get them all clustered together. So these are all the utility companies together. We can kind of see, like, are they moving together, or is one like an outlier that's moving a different way? And I do like to kind of check that out as we go. So let's jump into Wealthsimple Trade and go make some purchases. So to get started, I do have $500 available to trade. I wanted to put about $100 into Northwest Company, and $200 into NPI, and $200 into TELUS, something like that. So let's go and find one of those. Doesn't really matter. Here's NPI. We can do this one first. I just want to drop in around $200 worth. So 214, 187, 214, 187. It doesn't really matter. Let's do 214 of NPI. You can also see some of the information that Wealthsimple here, of course, has the same chart and a lot of the same information in here, which actually has a little bit less than the spreadsheet, which is why I like using it. But yeah, let's just go ahead and make this. We're just going to do a market order. I'm going to buy this. Market orders work a little bit better when you're recording, so I don't have to wait to see if it's approved. It'll just get approved right away. So we're going to go ahead with 8 shares of NPI. Sweet. The next one that we're going to look up is TELUS. So we can just type that in. Hop over to TELUS here. Their share price also, holy man, it's crazy. Very low compared to the recent high of 33 something. So again, similar stuff in here. And we wanted to put in around $200 into these guys. So that's going to be about, let's take 8 shares as well. And just confirm that I'm going to go in on a market order. And then the last one was Northwest Company that I was looking to pick up. And these guys are like a supermarket chain, or they own supermarkets. You can see a little bit down here of what they do if you want to pause on that. But otherwise, they're one of my smallest positions, and I don't have a lot of consumer focused stocks, so I'd like to add in these while their price is low, and I want to put in the remainder of what I have. So that's going to be 3 shares that I'll be able to squeak in probably with market order. Nice. So we'll hit done. So now what I need to do is I need to find out what the prices are that I actually paid. So we're just going to pop into the activity tab, and we'll just search for buys in the tax-free savings account and pop each of these open. And we'll see that I bought 8 at a price of $26.77. 8 of these guys went through at $24.11, and with these ones it was 3 at $32.91. So what I want to do is grab that information and bring it into the spreadsheet, and I'm going to record that in the transactions tab. So this is a master list of all of the transactions I've ever done. I'm just going to scroll all the way down to the bottom, and we can just type these in one at a time. So it was 8 shares of NPI, and I paid $26.77. For TELUS, I also bought 8 shares, and they were $24.11. And for Northwest Company, I picked up 3 shares, and that was the price of $32.91. I didn't pay any trading fees in Canadian or US dollars, and the transaction happened in Canadian, so I can just drag that down. And I can just confirm that these were the same numbers that I saw on the previous screen on Wealthsimple, and they are, so I am good to go. I haven't inputted any mistakes here. So the last thing that I want to check now is back on the summary tab. We can see that my cash has been reduced to $6.46. That's what I have left, and that is what I was expecting. And primarily, I was expecting this number to increase because I just bought more dividend-paying stocks. And at the beginning of the video, my annual dividend income was sitting at $4,014 per year, and now it's jumped up to $4,039 per year. So that's an increase of about $27 per year in totally passive income from the new dividend-paying stocks that I now own based on the transactions that you just saw. So as long as I keep doing this, keep adding more money in, keep reinvesting the dividends that I receive, then I'm going to, and buying more dividend-paying stocks, then the amount of dividend-paying stocks that I have is going to keep getting bigger, and this number will keep getting bigger along with it. And I guess the goal is to get this income as big as possible, and also for the total gain and loss of the entire account to be as far in the green as possible. Like, I want to be making sure I have more money than when I started, which right now I actually have a little bit less, but I'm not too concerned about it because the times are tough these days, and I am sitting on some pretty solid companies and also have a pretty reliable cash flow here of over $4,000 per year because of the portfolio that I own. So guys, if that was interesting, hit the like button and drop a comment down below, and I will see you guys in the next video.